Everybody, I'm Vegeta, and I'm bringing you guys another part of what if Vegeta was raised by Beerus. Now, after the initial defeat of Beerus, and of course Trump figuring out that Vegeta is now the current god of destruction of Universe 7, he starts to practically wage a challenge to Universe 7's universe. Of course, Vegeta has to accept, but he actually wants to join the tournament. Of course, Trump is kind of hesitant to do that, but Vegeta explains that he'll be going last, meaning he'll be the last person to face anyone if they're able to defeat his team. Of course, Thomas has to practically take that, as he believes that maybe he has a chance. But he explains to Vegeta if he is to face one of his wars, he'll also participate in that battle if Vegeta defeats them. Of course, Vegeta is not actually against this idea, since he believes that he wants to test his strength against another god of destruction. He knows that Beerus is stated to be one of the strongest gods of destruction, but he knows that Beerus is also known to have a rival between the gods of destruction. Of course, he is not sure if it is his brother or is one of the other gods of destruction, but he is at the practically listen to Champa. As for Champa, as far as they'll be almost the same as canon, except that one will practically taking the place of the other, being Caulifla. In this timeline, Caulifla in Universe 6 was practically trained with Kaba. In this timeline, she will actually be Kaba's older sister. And of course, they both would have been training ever since they were young. Since Caulifla has fire temper, she must be able to push Kaba to train so hard to the point that he must be able to go incredibly strong. And so she would. They both will most likely unlock Super Saiyan after some time, but they're only stuck at mastering Super Saiyan. And not only that, just that much. As for the team of Universe 7, there will be Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, and Videl. Yes, Videl. We just seen that Videl, even though she's a human, has incredibly high potential in comparison to any other human, so he wants to train her personally. He of course took her to a time chamber and eventually trained her with Gohan. Since Gohan has been psychic on his training, he had to train both of them. With Gohan learning Super Saiyan God and learn how to actually combine with the ultimate form. As for Videl herself, she was able to get the ultimate form thanks to practically Vegeta able to convince the old Kai, and of course he trained her utilizing God Ki, and she was able to grow immensely powerful. Goku also taught her how to utilize the Kaioken, if she needed an extra boost in power. Now for the tournament itself, it will still be the same as the original. It said that Piccolo actually going first against Frost. With of course Frost able to practically defeat Piccolo with poison. But eventually Gohan had to practically go next. Eventually defeating Frost, eventually learning that he was actually utilizing poison. And of course, Chan will be irritated, and so would be Caulifla. The next final which will be facing Gohan with Vegeta. Of course, Vegeta was able to practically call off Gohan with his heat, but Gohan able to practically do an insult, so most likely it will be a draw in his ring out, with both of them being ringed out, due to Gohan practically exhausting too much energy, and Vegeta practically being assaulted by a really cursed word that Gohan was able to say before he passes out. So yeah. For next bout, it will actually be Videl versus Caulifla. Of course, people will be confused on who she is. Of course, Videl just explains she is a human girl, but she's also the wife of Gohan. Which, of course, Caulifla is actually surprised that this Gohan is incredibly strong and he has a Super Saiyan. She, of course, actually wants to try how strong Videl is. And Videl is actually able to prove Caulifla that she's immensely strong, when actually able to defeat her. As for Kyle himself, he must be able to defeat Videl, basically having a win for Universe 6. Eventually, Goku will go up next, with Vegeta telling him to hold back against the boy and showing the true power of a Saiyan warrior. Of course, Goku has to know that Vegeta understands what he means. He's not just seeing that as his training partner, but as a god of destruction, and Goku understands that he must respect this word. So he has to practically show Kaba difference in power as he powers to Super Saiyan God and instantly knocks out Kaba before he can even blink. Kaba's of course shocked, but he hears Goku's words. Grow stronger, no matter what it takes. You have to grow stronger to protect your family and everyone you love. With those words, Kaba thanks Goku as he passes out. Goku nods and eventually takes him to a stance as he places him down carefully. Vegeta smiles at Goku, as he knows that Goku is still the same goofball, but he's still an incredible powerhouse that Universe 7 has. Eventually, it will be his turn, with both Goku and Hit having the same canon battle. But this time, Goku will actually have a much more better master with Super Saiyan Blue. Due to this, he must be able to put a much bigger fight against Hit, with Hit actually being pushed back a lot. He will be surprised by Goku's power, and even how he utilizes the Kaioken itself. Goku will easily able to overpower Hit, with Goku's Kaioken level reaching times 15. Since he can practically utilize even much more higher multipliers, he has to practically show Hit the current limit of his Kaioken, being times 15, which easily overpower Hit and knock him out of the arena. Basically, winning your 7's the Super Dragon Balls. Of course, Champa was irritated and wanted to practically raise Goku, but Vegeta easily powered to Super Saiyan God, as with his own aura in the Super Saiyan God, he was able to practically make Champa shiver down his spine. Vegeta had to practically reluctantly agree to Vegeta's proposal, and eventually Vegeta had to practically just restore Universe 6 alongside its humans. Of course, Trump was actually surprised that Vegeta would do that. Vegeta tells us that he doesn't need the Dragon Balls for anything to wish for immortality or something like that. He was already immortal thanks to being a god of destruction, so the Super Dragon Balls are basically useless in his opinion. Of course, Trump was actually surprised, but he thanks Vegeta for his generosity. Vegeta doesn't just make his sins stronger because he wants to see how far his sins will go. Jumbo smiles and tells Vegeta that he'll make them the strongest Saiyans in the multiverse. And Vegeta tells him good luck, since Goku is now the current strongest Saiyan, and he'll be the current strongest Saiyan God. Of course, Jumbo smiles and says Vegeta's challenge, as he now sees him as a rival, not as a threat but as a rival himself. Vegeta smiles and tells Jumbo to continue training and maybe lose that fat belly. Of course, Jumbo gets irritated, but he tells Vegeta that he might do that, and eventually leaves with his universe. As for everyone, they continue on with their training, with Vegeta continuing to train with Goku. Now, of course, he's still far behind Vegeta, but he's still slightly catching up slowly, bit by bit. But what that everyone knew is that they were actually watched by a Supreme Kai, being none other than Zamasu. Of course, Zamasu knows about Vegeta becoming a god of destruction, but having a thought of Goku basically actually being close to Vegeta as a mortal, but he has the power of the gods, practically irritated him a lot. So eventually he utilized the Super Dragon Balls to get Goku's body. Of course, he was able to practically go to the other Goku's timeline and eventually kill him. Of course, he was not strong enough to practically defeat Vegeta at that time, because he did not actually utilize the power of the Super Saiyan form. But he had to practically use a time chamber, something that he was able to practically gain thanks to Goku's body's memory. Of course, it did took him at least a couple of weeks, but eventually after finding the time chamber, he was able to train inside there for 10 years, give mastery over the Super Saiyan God transformation, and eventually he even killed Vegeta at that timeline. Even though he had no other choice, he basically utilized then you practically kill all the Supreme Kais, and eventually decided to face Vegeta head on. And he was actually able to defeat him due to Vegeta being weakened by Shin's death, so he could not actually live anymore. But of course, eventually Goku would be facing the future Z-Fighters, or the present Z-Fighters from the timeline, and Future was able to arrive just in the nick of time. Of course, Future was actually be surprised to actually see Vegeta with the God of Destruction attire. Of course, he's heard about God of Destruction attire from Shin, but he's never actually seen it. He's actually surprised that his father from this timeline was actually able to become a God of Destruction. Of course, if you're wondering, this Future basically came from the same timeline as the original one, so yeah. Of course, he explains everything. If you guys are wondering, no, he did not attack Goku, since he actually realized that Goku's ki does not actually feel as divine as Goku Black's. Wondering why? Well, Trunks was able to practically gain some God Ki thanks to training with the guys, so he was able to practically send someone with God Ki, so he could tell the difference between Goku Black and Goku, so yeah. And when Goku Black does arrive, he faces off against Goku, but they're actually both equal in base, which actually surprises Goku and even Trunks as well. Vegeta, of course, in trade eventually has to follow Goku with Trunks to the future timeline. Eventually, both Gokus face off. We go back smiling at Goku menacingly, while Goku has a serious look, seemingly as he is ready to face off against his doppelganger. Eventually, both of them powered to their strongest forms. Goku powered to his perfected Super Saiyan Blue, and Goku Black powered up to his perfected Rose, with both of them clashing with immense power. It seems like both of them were actually even the match. As for Trunks himself, he was easily able to handle Zamasu thanks to Vegeta training him back in the present. So he was likely easily able to handle Zamasu while Vegeta continues to watch the battle between Goku and Goku Black. With their battle continue on, Goku was actually starting to push Goku back, as his power was far greater than even Goku. But with Goku's experience, he was able to practically still keep the edge. But of course, Goku will continue on. But Goku will then power up even more. His aura starts to turn dark blue, as Goku's utilizing the power of Blue Evolution, a form that Vegeta achieved a long time ago. But Goku's utilizing its power in the perfected Super Saiyan Blue form, something that Vegeta is actually surprised. Vegeta thinks that maybe Goku has achieved a new form of Super Saiyan Blue, which he wants to call True Perfected Super Saiyan Blue, which the form is a combination between Blue Evolution and Perfected Super Saiyan Blue together, which is something that he himself is impressed. Of course, Goku Black decides to probably do the same. He has his Perfected Super Saiyan Rose and mixing it with his own Rose Evolution and doing the same as Goku. But Goku's experience with the form is much more greater than Goku Black's, so he's actually able to get the advantage. But eventually, due to a lack of stamina, he then runs out, and eventually Vegeta has to face off against Black, probably Super Saiyan Blue and rushing at Black. Black of course rushes at Vegeta, able to utilize one the guy's techniques to heal himself quickly, but he can only utilize this once per year, which is a really costly thing. But with the Zenkai ability he was able to gain from Goku, he believes that he was able to take on Vegeta. Eventually, they both clash as the entire universe shakes with their punches alone. Nobody is shocked that Vegeta actually able to keep up with him, but Vegeta was actually still holding back, not even utilizing Blue Evolution or even utilizing Ultra Ego just yet. He wanted to gauge how strong Black's power is. Eventually, they continue on, with their battle continuing on for hours. Of course, John was able to practically capture Zabuza with Mafuba, which was able to practically gain that technique from Master Roshi. Of course, the battle between Goku Black and Vegeta continued on, with it going for a really long time. But eventually, Goku Black started to lose the edge. Eventually, Vegeta came out victorious. Eventually, Vegeta asked Black why he did it. Why did he kill all the mortals? Why did he want to kill them all? He wants an explanation. He wants it now. Black explains that the mortals are nothing but peasants, and they deserve to die. The gods should rule the weak, not the opposite. Vegeta gets irritated by Goku Black's words, telling Black that maybe he will be right. Maybe in the past he would have agreed with Black, but he has been changed. He knows that to become someone strong, you must grow from the weak. And to become strong, you must also know that you have been weak yourself. Of course, down to Goku Black realizes what Vegeta is saying. He's saying that he was never born a god. He never was. He was trained by gods, yes, but he gained that power himself. He trained his body to a point of being broken as well. And he tells Goku Black that this is what a true Saiyan spirit is like, and not something pathetic as him. He says that he's just a mere copy, a copy that will never be as good as the original. He says that Goku's spirit is much more better than his. He says if Goku did not have that big of a stamina drop, he most likely easily able to defeat Goku Black even without him intervening. Black tells him that he's lying, but Vegeta tells him that if he wasn't, why should he do now? Of course, Goku realized that what Vegeta was saying was true. If Goku had just enough more stamina, he was easily able to beat him. But he just has a superior stamina in comparison to Goku. Of course, Goku realizes his mistake and tries to say that he's sorry. But Vegeta tells him that what is done is done. He'll erase him. Goku decides to accept his fate and tells Vegeta that he's truly worth to be known as the God of Shibuya 7. Vegeta tells him that he appreciates his words, but to him, they are nothing but empty words. And Goku accepts his word. As Vegeta then says Hakai, erasing Goku Black as he screams in pain, and eventually his screams turn to nothingness, with particles leaving the air, as Goku Black is no more. As for Zamasu, he was able to practically get sealed thanks to Whis by handing it to a Grand Priest, and eventually Universe will have a peaceful time, up until the Tournament of Power. But this is the end for the sport. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Sayonara.